A Stellenbosch graduate is raising funds for students who are not able to access their academic records because they owe fees. Under the banner hashtag Action for Inclusion, students who can't register for the next academic year due to outstanding fees are also helped, as well as graduates who can't get their academic records upon graduation. For more on this, I am joined by Stellenbosch University alumni and social justice ambassador Thembalethu Seyisi. Thembalethu, welcome to Newsfeed PM. Now, you've been described as someone who's dedicated to social justice and that you work to improve the lives of young people. You received the Rector's Award for Excellence in Social Impact. Where did the love and need to assist other students emanate from?
Good afternoon, Kahleko, and good afternoon to your viewers. Thank you for this enormous privilege. I think my love to help and to make an impact came from my studies. When you study law, you get introduced to concepts such as equality, human dignity, and social justice. But the reality in South Africa is that the gap widens between the haves and the have-nots. And so if you're immersed in studying law, you get to question the notion of justice and say, but why are we the most unequal society in the world if we've got this constitution? And then I thought I should play a role to bridge the gap between the haves and the have-nots and to advance constitutional justice.
Which is a very important role. I mean, unpaid tuition will keep one's degree back, which is a qualification that the student so desperately needs in order for them to start working. This often forces students to take jobs that are less lucrative than the career that they studied for. What alternative methods do you see students resorting to in order to fund their studies?
We know now that students even have more problems now with COVID and less money. So we know at the Stellenbosch University, we know some of our students end up taking restaurant jobs, end up working late and suffering from fatigue. That means you can't solely focus on the academic project if you are working 24 hours a day with your studies and trying to find other work. So it is not lucrative that students find alternative ways of funding themselves. But us, the haves, should do something about that.
And in doing something about that, the fundraising events for hashtag Action for Inclusion aim to encourage students to have fun while you're raising these funds. So through hikes, comedy nights, and jazz festivals, these are all the things that you do in order to raise these funds. These funds help students that are academically deserving and those that obviously can't pay for their debts. But how much rather have you raised through this initiative for students that need these funds?
Currently, on our Give and Gain platform, we've got just over 100 and something thousand. But we know as an institution at the end of 2021, Stellenbosch University raised just over 8 million to clear student debt. And we hope that in 2022, it will be way more than that.
Now, prominent figures such as Professor Thulima Donzela and Justice Edwin Cameron have endorsed this crowdfunding initiative and have gone to extensive lengths to ensure that students are being funded. What do you believe should be the contribution of the private sector in assisting deserving students?
We are open to partner with private sector, Kahleko, and we believe that everybody has a role. Civil society, government, and business leaders should come together and say, this is a problem. Student debt is a problem in South Africa. We end up losing students that could have contributed to the workforce and moved South Africa forward, because they end up being kicked out of the university systems because they cannot fund the tuitions. So if private sector, government, and civil society come together and say, we will do our part, we will fund certain students, we will pay for certain students' accommodations, we believe that we can move this country forward.
So lastly, we do know that your graduation already happened. Also, congratulations on your achievement in terms of your qualification. Should anybody want to contribute towards this crowdfunding, where should they go and how can one contribute?
One can contribute by firstly buying my book, 21 Life Lessons at 21, and all the proceeds made by selling the book go to Action for Inclusion. The book is easy to find. It's www.21lifelessons.co.za. The second portal is that people can Google Stellenbosch University Action for Inclusion Give and Gain page, and even there you can make a contribution.
Thank you so much. That was Stellenbosch University Social Justice Ambassador Thembalethu Seyisi.